In this lesson, we will look at how the flight path vector, FPV, and the flight path target, FPT, known as the bird and cage, can be used to make a non-precision approach. You can use this mode to make a non-precision approach using either a VOR or an ILS localizer in the event of a glide slope failure. We are approaching runway 27L at London Heathrow. ILS mode is engaged and the localizer is centralized, and the aircraft is currently flying the selected altitude of 2,500 feet QNH. Unfortunately, there is a glide slope failure. We will use the ILS for lateral information and set up a flight path angle, FPA, for vertical guidance. Then we can perform a non-precision approach using the flight path target. The aircraft is now at 10 DME, so there is time to set up the flight path target before reaching the top of descent. The PFD is currently in FD mode. First, you must change to flight path vector mode. Do this now. When the FPV-FD switch is toggled, the FD bars disappear and the bird appears. It is on the horizon because the aircraft is maintaining the selected altitude. Now switch on the flight path angle, FPA. Notice the cage appears over the bird. This is because we are flying the course set on the ILS control box. The cage is on the horizon because the flight path angle is set to 0. We require an angle of descent of 3 degrees. Select the knob to set the flight path angle now. You rotate the set knob on the EFIS control panel in an anti-clockwise direction until -3.0 degrees appears in the window. We do not fly the bird into the cage until we reach the descent fix. At the fix, we'll be at the top of descent. Before then, we have one more task. Our final task before reaching our fix is to set the minimum descent altitude, MDA. To set the minimum descent altitude, rotate the altitude select knob on the altimeter. This will move the yellow bug. Do this now. The minimum descent altitude of 500 feet is set by rotating the altitude select knob on the altimeter until the yellow bug on the altimeter is aligned with 500. Now everything is ready for the descent. You have now reached the fix. It is 7.5 DME, so you must begin your descent by flying the bird into the cage. Select the control column to begin your descent. When the bird is in the cage, you are following your intended lateral and vertical path. You are now at 3 DME. The flaps are extended and the aircraft is at approach speed. You will notice that we are more than 1,000 feet below the selected altitude, so the selected altitude label is at the top of the scale. At 2 DME, you are 700 feet radio altitude and 780 feet QNH, so you'll soon be at the minimum descent altitude. You are now at the minimum descent altitude. Unfortunately, the weather conditions are bad and you cannot see the runway. You must begin the missed approach procedure and initiate a go-around. Select the forward arrow to initiate go-around and watch what happens on the PFD. As you initiate go-around, notice that the bird and cage is immediately replaced by the FD bars. The FMA confirms that you are in FD mode. Because the weather prevents you from making a non-precision landing and the glide slope is out at runway 27L, you will conduct an ILS approach to 27R. This is covered in the next lesson. This is the end of the non-precision flight path target lesson. Select the forward arrow if you're ready to try the quiz.